And Malaysia's Royal Commission of Inquiry has recommended the conduct of a criminal investigation into former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad over his decision to drop claims on 2 disputed islets in the Singapore Strait. The government in 2018 decided then to drop a challenge to a World Court ruling over the sovereignty of 3 islets in waters between Malaysia and Singapore. Dr. Mahathir, who led the government at that time, stands accused of deceiving the cabinet on this matter. In 2008, the ICJ ruled that Batu Puteh, known also as Petra Branca, belonged to Singapore, while Middle Rocks was awarded to Malaysia. Malaysia sought to overturn the Batu Puteh portion of the ruling in 2017, while also asking for more clarification on the status of South Ledge. Now, that's the 3rd disputed islet. Both applications were later withdrawn in 2018. Now, that's when Dr. Mahathir was serving his 2nd term as Prime Minister. And for more, CNA's Afifah Ariffin joins us live from Kuala Lumpur. Afifah, the Royal Commission accusing Dr. Mahathir of deceiving the cabinet on the matter.
Well, yes, the RCI released a very long report with over 200 pages, some parts redacted, of course, before it was declassified. But among some of the key findings of the report is that the RCI proposes a criminal investigation into former Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. It accuses him of deceiving the cabinet back in 2018 by withdrawing Malaysia's review of the ICJ's decision on Batu Puteh or Petra Branca. Now, the commission found that Dr. Mahathir had unilaterally decided to drop the review without cabinet approval and went ahead to inform Singapore of his decision and only briefed the cabinet after. And so the report suggests that had the cabinet been presented with the relevant documents, the cause papers, the written opinions of international negotiators, then it likely would have had a different opinion about the review bid. The report also urged the RCI secretary to file a police report to initiate investigations and that Dr. Mahathir could be probed under Section 415B and Section 418 of the Penal Code. This is based on the fact that Dr. Mahathir had deceived the government and could have caused a potential wrongful loss. And Dr. Mahathir, as Prime Minister at that time, had an obligation to protect the nation's interests. Now, Dr. Mahathir, of course, he has denied any wrongdoing. He said the decision was made after extensive consultation, and in June, he had also testified at the RCI proceedings, which were conducted behind closed doors. At this point, Dr. Mahathir has not responded to this report just yet.
Afifah, Parliament will debate this ICR report a week from now. What's likely to come out of this debate?
Well, the issue of Petra Branca, Middle Rocks and South Ledge is a long-standing territorial dispute between Singapore and Malaysia. We know in February this year, Malaysia's King Sultan Ibrahim had consented to the formation of the Royal Commission of Inquiry to look into this issue. And so the RCI submitted the report to the King in August and then to the Cabinet. At that point, the Cabinet decided that it's very deeply concerned about national sovereignty issues and believes that this report should be tabled in Parliament and debated among lawmakers in this round of parliamentary sitting. Now, the lawmakers who receive the report on Thursday will then be able to put forth their concerns, whether about Dr. Mahathir's probe or other things presented in the report. Like, for example, the RCI report had also suggested that moving forward, matters involving national security should involve all of the relevant agencies, including the state governments, and that it should fall under the purview of the National Security Council. So these are some of the topics that lawmakers could perhaps be discussing when Parliament debates this on the 12th of December.
Thanks for that. CNA's Afifah Ariffin reporting live there from Kuala Lumpur.